Hey guys, Ryan here for Bender Wins. Hope everyone's doing well today. Here with our daily free picks for Sunday. Not the greatest day yesterday. Ended up going 2-5. The second half of yesterday's games were not our friend. So I hope today's a little bit better. I have a big day for you guys here. I have 9 plays. 4 NFL, which is unusual. Normally, obviously, my Sundays are kind of dominated by NFL, but college basketball is back. And you guys know how much I love college basketball. So I have 5 college basketball plays for you guys as well. The first play, you guys are going to have about an hour and a half to get this one in. But the first play, guys, I'm just going to jump right into it. So all these college basketball plays are all based off the super system that I talked about before, guys. Again, you know, you guys are familiar with it from past videos and whatnot. I haven't really disclosed the inner workings of it, and that's the way it's going to stay for that super system. But you guys know from past videos, we've been really successful with it so far. So going to continue on with that. And first game is UC Davis and VMI going under 133.5. So that's UC Davis, VMI going under 133.5. I'm pretty sure, I didn't write it down, I'm pretty sure that game goes off at noon Eastern Standard Time. So like I said, you have like an hour and a half to get it in. Next game, pardon me. Next game is New Mexico State and Arizona going under 137. So New Mexico State, Arizona under 137. Third game, you have Yale, Oklahoma State going under 141.5. It's Yale and Oklahoma State going under 141.5. Then you have Florida and UConn. So Florida, UConn going under 136.5. And finally, you have Texas, Arlington, and Oregon. So Texas, Arlington, and Oregon going under 139. All right, so now let's jump into the NFL. So I have 4 plays for you guys in NFL. The first game, we have Buffalo and Miami. So this game, guys, our pick, we have really nice system indicator on this. Also, we have Steam. I like the matchup. Obviously, guys, you know, anytime, we have a matchup like that, like, you know, I always favor the underdog. Not this time. Not this time. It looks like a game where I'd be on Miami, doesn't it? We're on Buffalo, guys. Absolutely on Buffalo. There's been really good steam on Buffalo. From good books, and you know, I've talked about different steam at different books, and you know, some of the steam at less, I guess, reputable or larger books, I discount that steam. And so when I have steam at like really good books, you know, Pinnacle, Buckeye, you know, to a lesser extent, 888, sometimes 888 is good for, you know, reverse line moves and whatnot, but you know, in this particular case, with good steam, really good system indicator, and the public has put some money on Miami. Now, again, Buffalo has received a fair amount of the money, but the public has been putting some money into Miami as well, which we don't mind seeing that as well. But what we're going to do in this particular case, so this line opened 7.5. It went down to 7. Some places went to 6.5. So you can grab it at 6.5 where you are. If not, though, we're going to buy it down to 6.5, guys. We're going to buy that half point, and we're going to Buffalo minus 6.5 at minus 120. So we only have to lay minus 120 to get it. I've checked a few books. I know 5 dimes, but then I know there is a few other books, but yeah, big one is I know 5 dimes, Pinnacle. They're all, you can get it at minus 120. All right, so next we have Baltimore and Houston. So I have a weather system indicator for you guys. This is something you can use at home. So weather system indicator. It's a really good system indicator. Like, it comes in at 58.8%. Decent volume. Like, we have about 350 picks on there. So, like, you know, it's a maturing one. Like, it's getting up there. And it's easy enough for you guys to identify good opportunities at home. So it's really complex, but I'm going to explain it to you guys. So if you want to write this down, here's the weather system indicator, okay? So NFL games, The wind is 10 to 11 miles per hour. That's it. That's the system indicator. Okay? 10 to 11 mile an hour wind, NFL. 201 wins, 141 losses, good for 58.8%. It seems to be that sweet spot. Okay? At 15, not a huge ROI. At 5, 6, not a great ROI. So it just seems to be a sweet spot that we found. 58.8% on the under. So pretty easy system indicator. Again, this isn't something you just want to go out and blindly bet every game that's 10 to 11 mile an hour wind. But it's a good starting point, right? So above and beyond that, in this game, Baltimore Houston, we have steam on the under. We have reverse line move on the under. We have only 14% of money. About the only thing who's betting, or the only people betting under on this are sharps. The public is all over the over. And the indication here is only 14% of the money, and Vegas has only hiked that the total a point and a half, depending on what book you're at. So they've resisted, but again, I think they're pretty happy with 86% of the money on the over. So we are going to take under 151 Houston and Baltimore. Under 151 Houston and Baltimore. All right. Next game, we have Carolina and Atlanta. So Carolina, Atlanta. I have another system indicator here for you guys. And this is a system indicator. You put this one on the shelf. You wait till later in the NFL season, and I've been waiting for this because I've done really, really well with this system indicator for quite a while now. So this only applies to week 11 or later in the football season. Okay, so week 11 or later in the football season. Basically, guys, any division games later in the year. Now, these are games that really matter. These are when teams step up. So week 11 or later, division games where the over total is between 44.5 and 60. Okay, so they're not really, really low total games. And they're not like crazy total games. Not that we get many totals over 60, but so it's between 44.5 and 60. Those hit 62.9% on the under. Okay, so again, there's a really easy system indicator, guys. This is, to be honest, the success I've had with this is a system indicator that I would almost bet just on its own. But obviously, we want to look for the money distribution aspect. We want to look for line moves, things of that nature. But I've had so much success with this in the past, I would feel comfortable betting this just on its own. So in this particular game, guys, we are going to take Carolina, Atlanta, under 48.5. So Carolina, Atlanta, under 48.5. All right. And now, last game is we have New Orleans and Tampa Bay. So New Orleans, Tampa Bay. This game, we have steam. We have 27% of the bets and 32% of the money on the under. So we really like that distribution there. Obviously on the side of Vegas. Above and beyond that, we are working with that same system as above. Okay, so this game, guys, and I do apologize, and right as I started the video, my computer died, but we are taking the under in that game as well. But I don't have a total number for you because I didn't write it down. But we are taking the under in that game. So I'm just going to recap for you guys here. Well, we have 3 under plays. New Orleans, Tampa Bay, under, we don't know, under though. Again, guys, we'll play like that. Whatever the line is. Like again, I wouldn't expect to see the line drop. I mean, it could be a reverse line move, but 32% of the money, it's highly unlikely that line's going to fall. So again, grab it at what it's at. But we're going to take New Orleans, Tampa Bay under. We are taking Carolina, Atlanta under 48.5. We're taking Houston, Baltimore to go under 51.5. We are taking the Buffalo Bills minus 6.5. We're going to pay minus 120 for that. And then we have 5 basketball games. And the first one, UC Davis and VMI going under 133.5. We have New Mexico State, Arizona going under 137. We have Yale, Oklahoma State going under 141.5. Florida, UConn going under 136.5. And then Texas, Arlington, and Oregon going under 139. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Potentially could be back with a night game. I was very close on Philadelphia, to be honest, over New England. Again, the public is just so close to putting me in a position where there's so much value on Philly that you have to take them. But as it stands right now, the line's kind of gone up to like 4.5. It's 5 at some places, and I even saw it one spike up to 5.5. So, if it starts to get into that 6.5 range, which I don't know that it will by game time, but I mean, if it does, I might have to be on Philly. We'll see. But I think, in all honesty, guys, there was enough conflicting information on the Pats game that there's some system indicators on New England. Money distribution looked really good for Philadelphia, and I think there's reverse line moves on Philadelphia. The value in that game, guys, if you're betting it, is on Philadelphia. But I don't know. It's not enough value right now for me to place a bet on it. But again, if the public wants to continue to give that extra value, continue to bet that lineup, which they always seem to do in New England. I mean, if it hits 6, I might be inclined to take that game. It's not going to be one of our picks today, guys, but just throwing that out there. If you're on New England today, I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that's the right price for New England on the road. Getting some pretty good defense. I mean, keep in mind the New England stats you're looking at, guys. You can't trust that. You can't look at their defense. You can't look at their offensive stats. You just can't, because they played terrible teams, right? So at the end of the day, I think I won't say that 2 weeks ago is a proper representation of how they are when they got blown out by Baltimore, but it's probably a little more accurate than the numbers they put up against Miami and that first game against Pittsburgh. And they're playing some real teams now. And despite Philadelphia's record, I do consider them to be a really good team. So I don't know. Again, that's all I have to say about that. I think we're not giving a play out on Philly, but I also think at the same time New England's not a great value, and I don't know that they will be great value again this year, just because the public's so enamored with them. That early kind of 8-0 record, whatever they got off to, was like that's kind of good for us in the long stretch, because it's going to keep giving us value, because the public is public fully believes that New England was that 8-0 caliber team, when in reality, I mean, if their schedule was remixed, they could have easily come into that point of the year 5-3, 6-2. So anyways, that's it. that's enough about New England. I swear I don't hate them or anything. I think that they always present good value. But so we might have something for the 8:00 game. Too early to say on that one yet, but I will keep you guys posted. So keep an eye out. That is it for today, guys. But as it is, pretty full day, 9 games. So let's get at it. And might talk to you guys later today. If not, we'll be back tomorrow. So that's it for today, guys. So as always, have a very lucky day.